Hello, this is Mark Rudewicz, your animal control officer here in the town of Simsbury. Today I wanted to speak to you about being bear aware and being bear smart. But before we talk about that, I wanted to tell you an experience I had that was even more frightening and scary to me than the bear in my yard. And it was the oil delivery man walking up my driveway. Man, did I run onto my deck? Was I afraid? I tried to shoo him out of the yard, but he wouldn't leave. And the worst part of this whole experience was what made it truly frightening is when I opened my screen door and I had that $710 oil bill there. So, man, was that awful. Anyway, I just want to say, I'm just kidding. This is meant to be, to have a little levity here. And, with the high cost of energy prices, we're all feeling a little pain there. So I figured let's have a little fun with it, throw a little humor at it. And that's to be in no way disrespectful to anyone who's in or associated with the oil or oil service industry. But let's talk about today's subject. I wanted to speak today about being bear aware and being bear smart. And that will also incorporate being a good neighbor too. But over the past few years here, I have to say, in the town of Simsbury, and I'm sure in the vicinity I've seen an increase in our bear population, partly due to the breeding, and the other is due to the growth and development of these communities, and particularly the town of Simsbury. There's a lot less space and almost no natural food sources. So the bears are left to all the non-natural attractants, such as your bird feeders, suet, garbage, recycle bins, trash, compost piles, grills, gas grills, pet food bowls that are left on outside or in garages, rear decks. So, with that said, we strongly encourage you to remove that. But first, let's talk about the bears here in Simsbury. In the town of Simsbury, and this is for me just a kind of a guesstimation. I'm pretty accurate though, because for me, I deal with this the bears on a regular basis, and I would say right now we have between 14 to maybe 18 what I call resident bears. The population has increased due to we've had 3 sows in town that have cubs, which are no longer cubs, are now yearlings. So we're seeing that as part of the increase with these 3 female bears. But we have roughly 3 female sows. 1 is tagged. She's a common occurrence all through this beautiful town of Simsbury. She's got an ear tag. It's in her both ears, the number E4. She has 2 yearlings. They're actually a little older than a year. They're actually sub-adults now. She's quite a common occurrence. The other 2 females are not tagged, and one has 2 cubs, the other has 3 cubs. And I'm sure they cross borders on a regular basis with Avon, Canton, Granby, in the vicinity. We have several bears in town that are young adults. Many are tagged. You will see various color tags in the bears. We have yellow, red, blue, and green. And just so you know, there's no distinction on as far as the bear or a threat level or harm potential or threat potential. People call me and want to know if a red tagged ear tag means a dangerous or hazardous bear, and it does not. All those indicate or signify is just the year that the bear was tagged by the Department of Environmental Protection. Folks, I got to tell you, for a moment, in a moment's notice, if we thought there was a bear that was actually destructive or dangerous, you can be assured that myself and as a member of part of the Simsbury Police Department, we'd be going to you and notifying you and contacting you. We'd be taking immediate action to address that. We want you to enjoy your community. You live in a beautiful town and a beautiful community, and my goal and the Simsbury Police Department's goal is to continue to foster that partnership with our community, and we want you to have a great quality of life here living in the town of Simsbury. So the ear tags, no distinction as far as a threat level or anything like that. It's just simply a matter of what year that bear was tagged. I want to talk a little about the trash. With that said, and with the amount of bears we're seeing, and of course the growth or the increase in the bears, these animals have, I would have to say, over the last few years become very food conditioned and somewhat human habituated, meaning that they've genuinely lost their fear of us. It's quite common. I know anybody who lives in town has seen the bears. They're not afraid. They're quite comfortable, matter of fact, walking up towards decks, walking in pools, walking up to garages, walking close to cars, walking by people. And part of this attraction is simply that, remove the trash. Secure your trash. I would recommend putting your trash out only in the morning of the day of pickup, not the night before. Secure your trash in a storage shed or your garage during the rest of the week. And of course, we're not at this level yet where we have bear restraint resistant trash containers, but you never know in the years to come. And one of the biggest things, and maybe the biggest factor here, is to remove the bird feeders. Take down the bird feeders. I know many of you love seeing the birds. I think they're great to see. There's many wonderful species of them. But, face it, and I'm going to be candid with you, I actually call them bear feeders because, yeah, you do see some birds, but as long as you have those bird feeders in your yard, you're going to have the bears. So, in some cases, and some of these bears have conditioned themselves to certain addresses where almost on a weekly basis, I can almost plan what days and what houses and what streets I'm going to be at with certain bears. So, and of course, in all cases, there's bird feeders, the garbage is outside. Many cases, the garage doors are left open. And face it, people in our garage doors, we all use that not only for our vehicles, but for storage. Sometimes dog food, bag of bird feed, maybe a bag of cat food, and other things in there too, maybe even your grill. So please shut those garage doors. But the biggest factor is, remove the bird feeders. Basically I would say from April to November 1st, there's almost no reason to feed the birds. There's plenty of natural food out there for them. So as long as you have those bird feeders up, you can almost count on having bears in your yard. Many people ask me, can't we remove them? Can't we transplant them? Realistically, we really cannot. All we're going to be doing is displacing a problem to another community. They're here and they're beautiful to see, so please enjoy that. I often tell people, look on the flip side of this. You live in such a wonderful community, in such a beautiful town, that one of the features and benefits that that makes Simsbury really unique is that you have this great concert of wildlife, not just the bears, but we see coyotes, we have red fox, gray fox, fishers. It's just a wonderful town to live. But I think that, for me personally, is a bonus to be able to look out your back deck and see a bear or mother bear with her cubs. Of course, once again, you have to view this and exercise caution with all these animals. They are wild animals, and you do have to take some precautions. The other thing I wanted to recommend is many people, when they're talking, they walk their dogs. In many of our great town parks here and state parks, please keep your dog on a leash. One of your biggest things here is if you do encounter a bear, you want to maintain control of that dog. The dog, of course, is going to bark, but a loose dog is really somewhat of a recipe for problems and potential disaster. Most cases, the bear will tree itself, but that's not in every case, in all cases. So, please, if you're in a state forest or state park or one of many of the town's beautiful parks here, please keep your dogs leashed. Not only for the bear, for the reason of bear safety and management, but also, be courteous, be civil to your neighbors and other community people who would want to enjoy the park also. The other thing is gas grills. If you have a gas grill, if you can, secure it, clean it off. It's not feasible in all cases. Some are fixed into the ground or very large and heavy, but the ones that can, I also recommend storage sheds or garages. The other thing I want to bring up with garbage also is it's always maybe a good idea to throw a little ammonia in the garbage. Pour a little ammonia in the garbage when you clean it out your garbage bins. That kind of dissipates any scent and wafting of the food. So I don't mean to belabor this, but I wanted to take a few minutes of your time here and just give you some of the do's and don'ts of this. The other thing is, if you see a bear, and like I tell people, if they encounter a bear in your yard, you make yourself large. Wave your arms, make some noise. If you're wearing a jacket, you open your jacket. the goal here is to look maybe a little more imposing to that bear than he is to you. So you want to back away slowly. You don't want to run because you don't want to engage that prey drive. I almost parallel that with canine behavior. So you don't want to have that bear give chase or view you as a potential food source. So back away, know where that animal is, but then get yourself to a safe zone and make some noise. All right. If anybody has any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to call me. I always enjoy hearing from our community, whether it's on the bear sightings or questions. I'm here to help. So is your Simsbury Police Department. I have to tell you, our goal here is to continue with our partnership and with our community. We want you to enjoy your community. You truly live in one of the finest towns here in New England. And with that, we just want you to be bear smart.